Welcome to Baked Up, the show where I get baked and put on my makeup. To stay until the end so you can see my real final look. And it was one of my favorites, I think, that I've done so far. I liked it, and I hope you do too. You know how hard it is to tap stuff on a phone with nails? My name is Lindsay. I like to get stoned and do my makeup and take you along for the journey. I wore claws again because they worked out so well last time. Ah, fucker! I figured I'd give them another try. But I'm filing the ends of them to make them not as sharp because I really don't want to be stabbed again. Well, today I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution Forever Flawless Good Vibes Chilled Vibes palette. Oh yeah, I guess that probably won't show up with the green screen. I have their first cannabis palette, and this is their second one. I'm trying to open it, but it's not the nail's fault. It's my strength. Is it taped shut? What the hell? Why are you not opening? Oh my god, I don't want to break it. Is that the back? No, that's the front. What the hell? Oh, well, these are pretty. I like the colors CBD, and I like Release, which is just silver glitter. So I like Moment. That's kind of a pearlescent light green. And there's a very similar green that is a little more blue called Extra. This one only has the little marijuana leaves pressed into the matte colors. If it's like that on this one, I just never paid attention. I should put on primer. And, oh, I'm using that cheap primer again. The AOA Hydrating Face Primer because I'm almost out of the primer I really like, so when I'm wearing makeup normally, not for these, I use that primer because it has sunscreen. So even if I'm not gonna wear makeup, if I'm leaving the house, I put sunscreen on my face. I want the sunscreen. I don't like that as a primer too. But I'm gonna use this one again. It wasn't bad. I didn't have any issue with it, except applying it. I had makeup on today. I used a makeup wipe. I didn't actually wash my face. So I may have left, like I know my skin doesn't have anything left, but there may have been, a little mascara that made it through. You know what I heard on the radio today? Because I'm an old person, I listen to the radio. It's not when I'm driving, but sometimes it's the radio, sometimes it's music on my phone. But today, well, it was both. But most of the day, it was music on my phone. And then I was like probably a minute away from my house, and so I'm like, oh, I don't need to start another song. I'll just take it off my phone and listen to the radio. I did, and guess what song came on? Right There by Chingy. And I was like, oh my god, Chingy! I had his CD back in the day, and so I was like, oh, well, now I have to hear Holiday Inn. So I watched that while I was schmirking. Snoop Dogg looks so young in that. I know it was like probably 18 years ago now, 18 to 20. I don't think it was 20. I don't think it was 2002. I think it was like 2004, 2005-ish. But that was a fun trip down memory lane to see and hear those songs. I didn't watch Right There's music video because I had just heard it in the car, but I watched Holiday Inn's. When I was wiping off my face, I didn't wipe off my eyebrows because I didn't want to redo them. I hadn't decided on what foundation I want to use today. I brought two in here. Oh wait, I did decide. I lied. I did decide. I wanted to try to use one, and if it's empty, because I know this is almost empty, then I'm going to use this one. I've used them both in videos before, but I need to buy more foundation, and I don't know what I want to try next. I went to the movies today with my son, and we were seeing a kids movie at the theater by my house. They have they have a lot of options of how you see the movie. They have an IMAX screen. They have 3D and 4D. They have just 2D with like shitty stadium seating, which is, like the flip down movie seats. Two of the kids' movies we saw this summer were the shitty seats. And my son was like, what are these when we went to those movies? Because another option they have in that theater is recliner seats, and they're heated recliners that you can push in and out, like there's a little button, and he likes those. So we made sure that the tickets we got for today, because I bought them last night, we made sure they were for the auditorium with recliners. And so we got that. And oh, they also have, if I see a movie with one of my friends, then I go to the director's suite, which is a, like, almost not really private theater. It's just much smaller. It's not that many people. And they have heated recliners as well, but they also have a little button on them, and they have menus, like they serve drinks and food, like cocktails and food, and you have to be over 21 to go to the director's suite. Anything upstairs in the theater is 21 or over, because they have seating that's the balcony, that is the, I don't think it's the shitty chairs, I think it's like recliners. But anyway, you're up and you can order cocktails and stuff up there. And then the director's suite is like an upgrade, you know, above that. And it's the one that's smaller. And they also have a button on the chair, and you push the button, and then like a waiter comes over and you can order like a cocktail or some food. So it's nice. I like it. Anyway, we were just going to be in the normal theater with recliner seats, and we checked in. The guy scanned our tickets, and then we walked down to the auditorium we're supposed to be in. And when we see, like, right outside the auditorium, there's a huge thing about it being a 4D auditorium. And we're like, okay, that's weird. Why would they use a 4D room when we're not watching a 4D movie? And so, like, I rechecked my ticket, and I'm like, yeah, we're in the right number auditorium, and it says 2D. I'm like, it doesn't say anything about 4D. And so we went in, and of course it was the 4D theater. Like, they have the seats and all the, you know, shit the 4D has on it. And so we're like, okay. And as we were walking in, there was a preview for an Emmett Till movie. And I was like, why would they play that in a children's movie? I was like, oh, okay. And then the next preview was for a horror movie. And that's when my son was like, I really think this is the wrong theater. We went and asked the ticket guy, and he was like, okay, yeah, Auditorium 2 at 11:40. Oh, that's Nope, like the new Jordan Peele movie. And so I was like, oh, yeah, I'm glad we didn't stay in there and wait for the movie to start with my 11-year-old who does not like horror movies. We went back to the ticket guy, and I was like, okay, so why? Because I was like showing my ticket. I'm like, why does it say Auditorium 2? And he looked at it like for a few seconds, and then he realized that it was for a different location, like a different theater. And I've bought tickets in that app, there, you know, the movie theaters app, multiple times, and it's always been at the location by my house. I've never changed my location, but somehow I bought tickets for a theater that's like 30 minutes away from me. Anyway, we went and they switched our tickets over to a showing for our movie that had like just started, so we were like 10 minutes late to it, I think, 10 to 15. Anyway, we were able to switch it over and see the movie, and it was our nice recliners and stuff. It was good, but I felt so bad when I was like taking my son into Nope with all the horror previews, and I was like, okay, well, lesson learned, double check the location every time I buy tickets now. I'm gonna go ahead and put eye primer on because I want to even out the pigment on my eyes. Oh, my son and I were talking about my videos, and he told me that the only time I'm ugly is when I'm putting the makeup on, because he's like, without makeup you're pretty, and then with the makeup you're pretty. But in between, not so much. So that was lovely. I had this issue last time of making sure I don't stab myself, but I'll just do what I did last time and use the sponge, but not stab myself like I did last time, multiple times. I feel like I'm better with these nails today. Like, I haven't really gotten hurt yet. I don't think I've stabbed myself, but I am still a danger to myself and others with these. Great, the primer dried on my eyes before I could rub it in. God damn it. Okay. Oh, fuck. That was not the nails, that was the brush. Okay, I gotta put more primer in the corner of my eyes because I took too long to rub it in. That side dried before I could blend it. Boop, boop. I mean, it's mostly blending into what's already there. You gotta try to get an eyelash off of here. I got it without hurting myself. Although now I gotta use the brush again. It does take much more effort to open packages when it when you have nails. There's a Post Malone song stuck in my head. It's with Doja Cat, and it's called I Like You, and stuck in my head. But I like both of them, so I like the song. Oh, but you know what makes me way happier than the song? The video, because Post Malone dances in it. My best friend and I, we always send each other like videos and stuff of him dancing. Because it's so funny. I can't even do it. He does it. I can't do it, but he does a funny dance. Like, he's super goofy. But I'll blend this so I'm not so ugly to my son. I brought in the cream highlighter I tried to use in the last video. Then I remembered that the highlighter I'm going to use today, which is also from that same Miss A, the dollar makeup store in Texas. But I got another highlighter there, a pressed one. The color's Empress, but it's a yellow-based highlighter. So I had bought two of the creams, so I have a yellow-based one. So I was like, oh yeah, duh, I should use that. So I'm going to use this first, and then that. I'm trying to decide if... No, I'll use that all over. I'll use the pressed one all over. The cream one I'll use on just my cheeks. Okay, it's hard to open that, so I'm going to try the other one. I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use a brush, but I'm going to very gently put it in there because the other one dug into it, and so I didn't realize how soft and squishy it was. So I'm going to do this part first because I want it under the powder highlight so it's more intense. Because you usually do like cream and then powder, but... which is what I'm doing. The way I said that made it sound like you usually do the opposite of what I'm doing. But you usually do cream and then powder, and kind of makes the color more intense. Last time I made a video, I tried to put, because I forgot about the cream until after I'd already highlighted. So I tried to put the cream on after I had the powder on, and it didn't work. It was like messy. This isn't as intense. Well, I guess if I don't blend it, it will be. But I can't just have like a yellow splotch on my face. I gotta blend the edges. That looks horrible and not blended. Oh, god damn it, I don't want it up there. I guess blush will cover this weird part up. I don't want it on my eye. I'm gonna put another layer of the cream because I can't really see it. Like, again, when I dab it on, I can definitely see it. But I don't want like just a shape of highlighter on. I want it blended. Like, I don't want it to look like, you know, a long rectangle right here, a little crescent. Like, I want it to be blended. But the powder will make it, oh fuck, jab myself in the eye just a little bit. There's a newer Kanye song that has The Weeknd and Little Baby on it, and it's called Hurricane, and it never fails to make me laugh. Like, every time I hear Kanye's verse, I just laugh. Like, it's so funny because like 5 times in his verse he goes and just like some of his words just make me laugh because he's like Architectural Digest, and I'm like, what? Like, I get it when you listen to the whole lyrics, like it makes sense, but it's just, it sounds silly. He did the same thing with Alcoholics Anonymous. It always makes me laugh the way he says it, and then all the But the Weeknd's part and Lil Baby's part is good. I like the song. I've listened to it many, many times. But it just makes me laugh. I realized recently, because my friend and I were listening to that song, and I was talking about how I used to be a big fan of Kanye back in the day after Through the Wire came out and then College Dropout. I liked his music a lot. And then, like, when his asshole tendencies became public, I was like, I'm not so much a fan of you anymore. But I realized I still like so much of his music. Like, even though I'm not a big fan of his personality, and I know he's bipolar, but he makes other bipolar people look bad because he doesn't seem to keep his mania in check. So that's because people are like, oh, that's what that personality disorder is. And he's done other stuff that's dumb. So, like, in my head, I was thinking I didn't like him that much anymore. But my playlist showed that I like quite a few of his songs throughout the years. So I was like, yeah, I guess I am still a pretty big fan of his music. Just not his public persona. Oh, I looked at, speaking of old Kanye, I looked up a live performance of Through the Wire because he wrote, like, Through the Wire is about him surviving a really bad car crash. And when he made it, he had his jaw wired shut. And so that was, like, one of the big, that was, like, the main focus of the song, is that he lived through that. And, like, him being lucky and being, fucked up and having to get, like, a plate. I don't think I want to do this shiny on my nose and chin. I can do it up here. I looked up a live performance of Through the Wire since he had his jaw wired shut when he made that, and he sounded very different. And so, like, when I was first introduced to him, that's what his voice sounded like to me. And then I heard other songs by him, and I was like, that sounds like a different person. But it was because you sound a little different with your jaw wired shut after a near-death experience. So I get that. Quite understandable. But I wanted to look up a live performance to see what his voice he has now sounds like singing that song, because I've never heard that. I've always heard the original song. I hadn't looked up any performances of it that he did years later. So I did that today, and it sounds weird to me. I'm like, nope, that's not, it doesn't sound like you sing this song. Or not sing, he raps. I'm going to try to dull down this shimmer on this. It looks gold instead of yellow on me. I guess it is light gold technically. Well, both of them are pretty gold, I guess. I didn't know just that before. I was like, just yellow-based shimmery highlighter. Which is what it is. It just looks gold on me. I'm good with dewy, but I don't want, like, greasy. I'm fine with my cheeks being that sparkly. Oh, I have new blush to try. I like NARS and Tarte blush. I don't usually like drugstore blush or cheap blush because usually it's not pigmented enough, and it's like you have to put a lot of layers. It just seems sheer, it just seems shitty to me. The ones I've tried. But I got some cheap blush, which I don't know. They have, some of their stuff seems to have like other brands in the store. Like most of their makeup is AOA Studio, but they have one of my cats is at the door. She's crying at the door, but when I opened it, one cat, Goku's inside this room with me. Harley's outside the door. They're just like this on opposite sides of the door. And she starts meowing, and I open the door, and I'm like, okay, he's either gonna go out or she's gonna come in, or they might like switch. And they both just stood still and sat there. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna leave the door open forever. So I closed it, and I know where Goku is. He's still sitting in front of the door. I don't know where Harley is, but probably just on the other side of the door. But what I was saying is, besides the AOA brand, they have, it seems like a lot of random names of brands. You know what I mean? Princessa, I think, is the brand. And it's the blush collection. So I'm going to see if these are, if they're not bad or if they're bad. It's 4 colors of blush. So I'm going to pick one. I think I want to do the color called Poppy Puff. That one. Oh, geez. You know what's weird? Like, obviously it went on pigmented. And it's like blending, but it smells like play makeup. Like what I had before I wore real makeup. You know what I mean? The ones they make for little girls. Like, it smells like those. Is this from the 90s? That's so weird. That is so weird. Okay, I'm gonna get a little more for the other cheek. And it kind of spreads. At first I'm like, that's weird. It kind of spreads uneven. Like, there's like pigmented, not as much pigmented. Like, it's like it went on uneven. This one went on smoother, but I didn't get as much. Okay, I'm going to add like more neutrally, deeper. It's not really, maybe it is darker. Maybe this one's the darkest one. Maybe it's in a different one in my contour. And just get a little of this. Oh my god, this is so weird. It smells, oh shit. That did not go where I wanted it to. It's so weird. It smells like that makeup from when I was a kid. Oh my god, that's so weird. Like, I'm getting flashbacks. God, that's so weird. But I gotta fix my contour because I put way too much pink in it. But I'm gonna kind of blend this out and probably add some more brown. Yeah, because it looks kind of purple now. I mean, that looks better than it did. Oopsies. Now I'm gonna add a little more contour to fix what I just fucked up. Yeah, make that more brown. I shouldn't have put that other pink there. Usually with the blush palette, you can use them together. I guess it was more location, not like the blush itself. I swear, every single time I do my makeup, this cheek is always darker. And then this one, no matter how many layers I put on it, it's never as dark as the other side. And I don't understand why. It's never the same shade. I finally got it to blend for the most part. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but my lips are chapped, so they look gross. But when I go, before I do my lipstick, I'm gonna do like a little sugar scrub on them to make them not so crusty. That sounds so gross. I guess I could curl my lashes, and I can operate this with nails. Now that I'm not so much in between, I just don't have eye makeup on. So I'm not in the ugly phase anymore. But I'm gonna tell you about what I had. I actually had 2 strains. They were mixed together a little bit, and then I had a bowl of just one of them. Okay, I blended this as much as I can. It looks a lot better than it did, because it was very like a big pink dot on my face, kind of clownish. You know what? Yeah. I had 3 bowls total. The first one was Irish cream and Biscotti mixed. The second one was Biscotti only, and the third one was Irish cream only. So the first strain that I meant to have, I just already had some Irish cream in there, but Biscotti was the one I was going to have for this episode. It is an indica dominant hybrid. It's 80% indica and 20% sativa. And the THC, I didn't, on the 3 websites I looked at, I didn't get a THC range. It's just they each had an individual value. And 2 of them, WikiLeaf and Allbud, they say 25% THC, and then Leafly says 22. So I'm gonna say 22 to 25, and mine's 24. It's in there. It's made by crossing Gelato 25, Sour Florida OG, and Girl Scout cookies. The feelings that it's supposed to give: relaxed, creative, buzzy. Hadn't heard that one before on the strain description. That says buzzy from head to toe. Biscotti was originally bred by Cookie Farms, so it's listed as like a cookie strain, but it has Girl Scout cookies in its lineage. So give me that too. It's also supposed to be body high, giggly, and uplifting. And I would say, I do have a body high. I am relaxed. I don't feel that like giggly or buzzy. It may relieve anxiety, chronic pain, depression, mood swings, and stress. And the flavors are fruity, nutty, sugary, sweet, and spicy, which I think, because I remember when I bought it, I was like, oh, that smells sweet. So that was one of the reasons I got it, but it does smell like almost a little peppery too, which I like that. So I get this, I wouldn't say spicy, more peppery, but the spicy and the sugary and sweet, I get that. It does, like, it's a dessert strain, you know, it's sweet. But the flavor, honestly, it smelled strong and it smelled good, but I didn't really taste any individual flavors in it. Like, it tasted good, it wasn't gross or anything, but it was, I would say, like, maybe herbal is what it was tasting like. Like, it just, I don't know, just tasted like weed, nothing specific. So I was like, okay. Oh, I was talking about flavors, not aromas. So the aromas, though. No, I was talking about aromas. No, flavors. How it tastes. Not aromas, how it smells. The aromas are actually earthy, fruity, nutty, herbal, and sweet, which, that's funny because I had mine tasted herbal. And that's supposed to be the aroma, not the flavor. So it's kind of the opposite to me. There were some of the flavors that I got in the aroma, and there were some of the aromas that I got in the flavor. But I was surprised it didn't taste closer to what it smelled like, because usually when it smells pretty strong, it tastes pretty strong too. So it's weird. Man, these lights are messing with me. I need to hurry up. It's making my head hurt. Irish cream is an indica dominant strain. I just don't know the percentages, because I only looked at Leafly for this one. I didn't look at all the sites because, like I said, a second ago, my head's starting to hurt and my vision's a little weird from the lights in my face. I'm recording later in the day than normal, and so I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not, but I need to hurry. So it is a new day. I got a really bad migraine when I started making this video on Tuesday. I lost vision in my left eye and my head was hurting really badly, and so I had to stop. So today I put back on everything I had on up to that point, including the weird smelling blush. Like, I know I've said this a lot, but it's still so weird. Like, I don't know. It just makes me feel like I'm back in St. Louis, because that's where I lived in the 90s. And it's just this weird. It just takes me back. But I used it again, and again, it wasn't the greatest. So, I mean, I'm not, after this video, I'm probably never going to use it again because it smells like not real makeup. It smells like play makeup, and it's not a great blush. Like, the reason I don't like, well, this is another reason, because a lot of, like, a CoverGirl blush, those are usually too sheer. Therefore, for people who are afraid of putting on too much blush, because you can't really put too much on when they're that sheer. But this one was just not evenly pigmented and didn't blend well. It was not great also, but it wasn't too sheer like I was saying earlier why I didn't like them so much. I'm going to do my eyes, and oh, on Tuesday, because it's Friday now, on Tuesday, after I had recorded, when I had taken a break for something before I started feeling like shit, I had told my son that I waited until I got past the ugly part to talk about the strains. But when I said that to him, like, he got really sad all of a sudden, and he's like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have called you ugly. He's like, you're never ugly, it just looks weird, that's what I meant. And he felt really bad, but I'm like, it wasn't. It was funny to me more than anything. We're good. I'm using the palette I talked about earlier, and it was really hard to open earlier, so I hope it's not this time. Motherfucker. Oh my god, how is it so hard to open? I'm gonna tell you about what's in here, and then I'm gonna try to open that again. Okay, it's Strawberry Cough. It has 85.07% THC. The total cannabinoids are 91.412, and the terpenes are 5.9117. So it's, I mean, like I say a lot, it's good full spectrum cart. It's one of my favorite flavors from this brand. Being a new day and all, that's why my hair and shirt are different. And I didn't dry my hair curly. I just let it air dry and then slept on it. So it's just kind of frizzy up here, and then like little weird kinky curls down here. They're not like ringlets. That's what's going on there, but I'll do something with it when I'm done. Most likely just put on a hat to cover it up. Oh my god. This is ridiculous. It should not be this hard to open. Maybe it's because I have nails that I don't put my hands in as far as I would. No, I really don't think. Because, like, I'm pulling as hard as I can, and it's not coming apart. God damn it. I'm going to have to ask my husband to open it. He was able to open it. Unlike me. But it was like not hard for him, but it took more effort than he thought it would at first. Because the first time he did it, he was like, you know, trying to, it won't come open. And he was kind of surprised. There's a couple other colors. I'm trying to decide what ones I want to use, because the ones I named earlier I really like, but I don't want to use Extra. That one's got more of a blue tone to it, and I don't want that. I like Meditate, which is kind of like a pale gold. And then there's Vibrations, which is kind of close to Moment, but they look like they have a different finish almost. Like, Vibrations isn't matte, but it doesn't look as pearlescent as Moment does. On one half it's more the greens, and on the other half it's more browns. But I think today I'll do like a green one. Or do I want to do? No, I can't decide. I've decided what I want to use. I want to use the brown half, and there's also two colors on the other side. Peace and Frequency. They're kind of brownish too. I don't know if I want to use Peace or Meditate in the corner, but I'm going to use one of them. I mean, I could do Peace and then a little bit of Affirmations, which is kind of a more orange shimmery one. I could kind of, you know, make a gradient with those. I decided I want to do green underneath. I think the lipstick that I brought in here would go better with the browns, so that's why I'm going to use those. The other day I didn't give the information on Irish Cream, so that's not what I had today. So I'm going to give you the information on the Irish Cream. Was made by Mighty Irish Seeds, which is a company based in Ireland. And it was a back cross of one of their strains called Mighty Irish Hope. The THC range on that is 20 to 25%, and mine's right in the middle. It was 23 point something. Typical effects are relaxed, creative, and sedated. I'm not sedated. Oh, I didn't smoke it today. I don't remember how it made me feel. And the things it's good for treating is anxiety, insomnia, and migraines, which I did have more after I quit. Like, I had to lay down, but then when I got back up, I had some more. But I don't remember. I think it did help my head, actually. Yeah, it did. So that part's true. But anxiety, insomnia, and migraines is what it is supposed to treat. But today, I had Grandaddy Purple. Luckily with that is, you know, an old strain. It's been around for a while. Every, you know, weed site has the lineage and info on it. So there's plenty on that one. And it smells so good. So good. I'll wait until I go over the aromas before I kind of describe what I'm smelling. Grandaddy Purple is also called Grandaddy Perp and Grandaddy Kush. Or is it Grandaddy Purple Kush? It's Grandaddy Purple Kush. Or GDP, which is the dispensary I bought it from, had it as GDP. Grandaddy Purple is an indica dominant strain. For some reason, Leafly has the wrong lineage. They have 3 strains that they said were crossed to create Grandaddy Purp, and that's not true. It's a cross of Purple Urkel and Big Bud. And then after that, it was back crossed with itself. That's how we came about this wonderful strain. It is, you know, a purple strain, which I like. I love purple indicas. The THC range is 17 to 27%, which is a pretty big range. Mine's 22%. So it's, again, kind of in the middle. The effects are cerebral, euphoria, happy, hungry, and relaxing. I do have like happiness and euphoria. Like, I'm in a good mood. And I guess that's what treats, but I was super nauseous before I had the first bowl, and it helped calm down my nausea. And then like an hour and a half, my nausea was back, and I had it again, and my nausea's been gone since then. I'm not hungry yet, but it's relaxing. Like, I do feel calm. It may relieve arthritis, chronic pain, depression, insomnia, loss of appetite, migraines, muscle spasms, PTSD, and stress. I have a big chunk of those, so this is a good strain for me. I'm surprised that they didn't list nausea or like digestive issues in what it can treat, because it was really good with that. The flavors are berry, fruit, grape, pine, and sweet. And I'm trying to think. I got a little berry and sweet and some, I would say some dank. The aromas are berry, earthy, grape, and sweet. So let me see if this smells like that. It's kind of herbal, which I think, hold on, because I took that information from Allbud because they always have a more detailed list of the information than the other sites I use. But I thought that a different website I had looked at listed herbal and the aromas, but I can't find it now. So maybe that didn't happen. But it does smell a little herbal, almost nutty also. And then, like I said, the berry and sweet, I smell those. Got some purple nugs in there. I love purple indicas, so it was good for me. Because when I first went in, I told the bud tender that I wanted a cheesy strain, because I was thinking I want a cheesy purple indica. And they didn't really have any cheesy ones. They had a lot more sweet strains right now. And which is like, I had Biscotti before that, which was a dessert strain. And this one is sweet too. But since they didn't have like a cheesy one I wanted, the GDP was a purple indica, so 2 out of 3. So that's what I got, and I'm glad I did. It's a good strain. So now I can finally start on my eyeshadow. I said in a previous video that I never feel like stoned off of a cartridge. And I mean, that's still true. Well, yeah, it's still true. No, I didn't feel stoned. I was just forgetful. But a couple of days recently, I hadn't had any flour until like late afternoon, but I had my vape like all morning. But I did get like forgetful and kind of flighty. So it's like I get that side effect, but I don't get the euphoria that comes with it. I mean, I was in a good mood, but it wasn't. I still don't feel like stoned off those. But I told the guy, the bud tender at the dispensary where I get those, I told him about that. I'm like, do you ever feel stoned off of these? Because I don't. And he's like, yeah, I do. And I'm like, I don't know why it hits different. I'm like, it's weird because it's still, I get the benefits from it, like the medicinal benefits. I just don't get like a high from it. And he's like, maybe it's because you've been smoking them for so long. And I'm like, maybe that's right. I still feel different with flower than I do vapes. I still haven't. I need to do my eyeshadow. I started editing the first half up until I had to quit because of my migraine. And that, I'm going to try to trim it down some more, but that one's already like 35 or 40 minutes. And so I need to make this part not as long because they're already kind of long. So I'm going to try to not have it too much longer. I'm starting with Peace, the playlist I was listening to in the car this morning because I ran errands. I went to the dispensary this morning when I put on makeup to do my errands, and then I just took it off when I got home and put on the makeup that I wore Tuesday because I definitely was not wearing these particular products on a regular makeup day. It's just for this to try the new ones because I don't like that blush. The highlighter's okay. It's not horrible, but I'm not, like I said before, I'm not going to use that blush again. When I was running errands, I was listening to, you know, one of my playlists on my phone, and 2 Kanye songs came on. So I was like, oh yeah. Ow. I stabbed myself. The next color I'm going to use is Affirmations, which is the kind of pale orange color. I can't tell if it's the light or if my eyeshadow's uneven. Oh, that'll be covered up with liner anyway, I don't care. But these 2 colors blend well together. I'm going to go in the crease with the color called Energy, which is a matte brown. It looks like the darkest matte color in the palette. As always, I don't think my eyes are quite even. I feel like this one's a little bit, like this one's a better shape than this one. Oh, there we go, that's better. I don't know if I want a matte green or a sparkly green. Not sparkly, I keep saying that. Shimmery green. I either want Moment or CBD. I think I'll go for CBD. Oh man, my jaw hurts. I've been having a TMJ flare up for like a month now, and it fucking sucks. I think I've said this on this show before, but I've had surgery on both jaw joints. It's painful when it flares up. I was having like this, like my teeth are sensitive anyway, but I was having extreme sensitivity on this side. Like it was so bad that when I was rinsing my mouth after brushing my teeth, I couldn't have water over there to rinse, even though that wasn't particularly hot or cold. It would still hurt. I went in earlier this week, and it was because I had a filling that I got as a kid, like a piece of it had like fallen off or come out, whatever. And so he just had to refill it. So it was open. That's why it was hurting. But I asked him because I have a crown and I got it October of last year because I bit into a blow pop and my tooth broke. I was like freaking out because I was like, oh, my tooth broke, oh my God. And then I was like, are my teeth just going to crumble out of my mouth? What happened? It was a little traumatizing for that to happen. And I had never had a crown before. So I got one. Like it was fine. And then it started like within the last month, it started hurting. Like it's really sore. And it feels like when they installed it and when they like do the metal, it felt like that soreness and pressure, like someone had been working on it. And so I asked him, I'm like, is that because I grind? Like I have to sleep in a jaw splint, but I still grind, you know, even though it protects me from grinding my teeth on each other, I'm still like getting the pressure of, you know, my teeth biting down on it. So I was like, is that just from, I guess because it's not regular tooth, maybe it gets pushed up more is what I was thinking. But I'm like, is that from grinding? And he's like, well, part of it would be from grinding, but the other part is, I forgot, I think it was like here, but I didn't realize you had muscle structure like in or around your gums. But you do, and lactic acid can build up in there, just like, you know, when you work out,
other muscles and stuff. So that's what's hurting, making that soreness. And then I realized it's been hurting for about a month, and I've had the TMJ flare up for about a month. And since my jaw's been worse, I haven't been chewing as much because it hurts to chew. And since this side was sensitive and this joint was hurting worse, I stopped chewing on this side completely for like probably 2 or 3 weeks. So I think that's why it built up, because I haven't been using that. So like yesterday I didn't have any food in my mouth, but I was trying to like chew on that side just to work it out. After doing that for a little bit, it relieved that soreness pain. It did. It came back, but it relieved it for a little bit. It hurt my jaw to do it, but it relieved the soreness. So it's kind of like, weigh which one's hurting more that day, I guess. So, which usually my jaw is the one hurting more, but I had thought maybe I should try that and see if it helps, and it did. You know what? I did a look similar to this before, where I did like a teal underneath and like, I think golden brown on top. I'm sorry. I'm also, because I'm not going to like wet down my hair and redry it. I don't want to do that. My head is hurting again today, but it's because we finally got some rain and the changes in barometric pressure fuck with my head. And I'm also late on my nerve block this month because my insurance likes to, it's not even with any regularity. It's not like once a year, every 6 months. They just, whenever they feel like it, want a new pre-authorization on the nerve block I have every month. And they take like 2 or 3 weeks to process it. And when I'm late on it, obviously my migraines are a lot worse and my neurological issues are worse. And so it's like, I've called and I've complained because I'm like, you understand, you're like fucking up the way my body works because you're making me late on this dose. And they don't give a fuck. So, hold on, I gotta let the kitty cat in or out. I don't know which side of the door she's on. She was outside the door. Now she's purring because she wanted to be in here with me. I mean, the eye look's not my favorite. I'm not gonna do the green underneath. I'm gonna wipe that off because, one, like I said, I think I might have done like a very similar look to that before. And two, I don't like the way it looks. I'm most likely going to put on a hat like I did to run errands. But it's a hat that I've worn in a previous episode. Oh my god, you know what I just realized? The episode I wore it in was the first time I tried their first cannabis palette. So now I don't feel bad for repeating it. Also, I don't have a million hats to have a new one every time. I don't buy a lot of hats. I like that more. Ah, god damn it, Lindsay. I've done my hair. I'm gonna do my lipstick. I don't have a liner for this. The darkest liner I can think of that I have, it has too much red in it. It is Oh Behave. It's one of the new Lippie sticks I got. Okay, I've never done a ColourPop without lip liner, and it looks like this really needs lip liner. So I used that lip liner that I was saying was too red or too purple. I didn't put my nails back on, but I'm not going to because I need to hurry and get this over with. I don't want the video to be super long like it is, and I got shit to do. And just like the other Lippie stick I got that was a neutral, and it was not the color I thought it was more peach. And this one I thought would be closer to like a black, but not quite black, like super deep. It's more brown. It's like a mocha color. Like this lipstick is so much darker than the liner, and normally it's the opposite. The liner's darker. I like the color. It's pretty. This is my final look. Baby, you know good. Oh shit! I got all over my teeth. If you enjoyed my videos, please subscribe. I don't really have a consistent schedule of how often they come out, so it's just whenever I feel like doing it. But if you enjoy, subscribe, and that way you'll know when I do release a new one. And you can also follow me on social media. Thank you for joining me. I had fun. I like the look. I mean, I feel pretty. It was a success. Everything was a win. I just wish the Lippie stick wasn't a cream because it got all over my teeth. I will see you the next time I get baked and do my makeup.